Today on Beard Stew, we're talking about beard myths
and the harsh reality of living in California.
What's up, guys? My name's Cody.
And I'm Trevor.
We are the Beardacious.
And you're watching Beard Stew.
Alright, like we said in the intro, today we are talking about beard myths. So,
Or at least, kind of more or less, misconceptions about beards.
yeah, it's kind of, things that people think are true, think are real, that might not necessarily be real. We're seeing beards come back. There's a big resurgence. I don't know. There's a lot of haters out there. There's a lot of people who don't like the beards, and there's the guys that like the beards, but not necessarily the women that like guys with beards.
They're jealous.
Yeah, well. So, today we have a few facts about, facts, myths, I don't know, folk tales about beards.
Well, I mean, if you're somebody who is either trying to grow a beard or isn't sure if they want to grow a beard, because I was the same way. I had my misconceptions about growing out my beard. I didn't know if it was going to grow out.
Should we thumb through some old pictures of us?
We could.
And just kind of slideshow them right now?
We could.
All right. Well, this is the work I've gone through to find and dig up some old photos of us when we were younger. Different styles back then of what we used to do.
Yeah.
A lot of what I used to do was either just a goatee or just a chin strap.
Yeah, back in, I think my sophomore year of high school is when I started I had a little soul patch going.
Yeah.
I had that basically throughout high school. And my senior year in high school, I went with the goatee. Funny looking back on it now, because I used to think that I looked so full, and now it's like, oh my gosh, it's terrible.
I think I started with just a goatee back about 15 years old, whatever age you are then.
Well, you were pretty stubbly back then.
Yeah, but I did kind of a goatee, not a mustache, because my mustache is way too blonde, and it still is. But I used to just do the chin. But I started growing a little bit thicker. Started doing the chin strap from, sideburns all the way down and around. And then, I don't know. I think I just one day decided I'm just going to let my beard grow. And then I did. And
you got pretty good.
Got pretty good. And back December when I started growing it, I let it go for 7 months. And it got to a decent size. So here's that picture. That got to a pretty good size. Yeah. The longest I'd ever had it.
Yep. But let's talk about some of those misconceptions, just kind of, I guess, clarify on them and maybe help some of you people who are haters, some of you who maybe are, really not sure about your beard, and hopefully we'll be able to clear some stuff up.
We've only hand selected a few myths. If you have suggestions or if you have questions, comment below, and maybe on the next podcast we'll get to it. If we don't get to it on a podcast, maybe we will personally write to you.
Yeah. I mean, same thing like on our website, there was always the contact us section as well. Just contact us with any questions, we'll respond.
So, now we're going to get to those myths. All right, so for my first one, a very common question that I get asked about is your significant other thinks that you look like a thug, thief, child molester, or various other name calling. Now, this is just a reaction to change. This is simply the fact that you may not have had a beard and all of a sudden decided to grow a beard, and now your significant other does not like that change. All they have to do is wait it out. They'll get used to it or get rid of them.
I actually saw a funny video that's kind of the reverse of that. Which is actually really funny because it was this guy. He had this big old beard, and I guess they had a little I don't know. She probably wasn't even a 1-year-old daughter or whatever. And she loves her dad. They just showing him holding her and playing around with him and whatnot. And so then his wife picks up her and whatever. He goes and shaves it off. And they bring her back in, and she freaks out because she doesn't recognize him at all. Yeah. So it's like she doesn't want to touch him. She doesn't want anything to do with him because she doesn't recognize it. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, depending on, it's a look.
Yeah,
and you get so attached to that look, that's what and then people can really change.
Oh yeah,
I look different without a beard. I look like a 12-year-old without a beard.
Oh man.
So yeah, definitely separates the men from the boys.
Yeah.
So the myth: significant other will think you look like a thug or something. They're just not used to change, so they just need to get used to the change. That's it.
All right. Well, mine. This is a big one, guys. So listen up. So there's probably a very big misconception about job interviews. You might think that you have to go and shave your beard to look nice for a job interview. This is indeed false.
Wrongo.
In fact, actually, because we've actually gotten our sources from multiple sources, and this is actually a big one apparently, and this one I kind of agree with, because you know what? Most people are not necessarily anti-beard. I mean, there are probably a few jobs that you will find that you do need to shave your beard, but usually for either good reasons. But most jobs are probably not going to care. In fact, actually, it's going to have the opposite effect. Your employer is more likely to recognize you because you have a beard. Most guys don't have beards. It's just kind of a thing. There are a few, and plus, every guy's beard is completely unique. So you're more recognizable, actually. And it actually helps your employer to recognize you faster.
And I think when it comes down to it, too, most blue-collar jobs are not going to have a dress code that is going to involve a beard. Unless you're working in things such as pinch points, where it could get drawn in, or food. I don't know if food's considered blue-collar, but...
Yeah, I don't know, but they'll make you wear a net.
Yeah, so there's those that, yeah, you would have to probably shave. If it's a safety reason or a health reason, I understand that. But most other jobs, it's portraying, like sales.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want someone with a beard come off as a little gruff.
It depends. Depends on the beard. A well-groomed beard usually is not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because I guess that's a big thing too, is, if you don't groom your beard, then yeah, you're kind of asking for it.
And if you need some beard grooming products, visit thebeardacious.com. Visit the store.
Plug it in. We got some products right here.
Yep. Not the Mountain Dew. The Mountain Dew is not a product. Not our product.
That's mine.
So, yeah.
Next one.
Very, very common misconception, especially for young people starting to grow a beard, that shaving makes the beard grow faster or thicker. This is actually false. There's no evidence to back that up. The only thing that you could say is that hair, the farther away from the face, is thinner than it is to the surface of your face. And that by shaving, you're now bringing the thicker side out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would appear thicker, but you're not necessarily going to have a more full beard. It's not going to grow faster. It's not going to grow longer. Yeah, shaving just cleans your face.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Grow it. Use beard products to oil it. That's how you well groom a beard. That's how you get it to grow fuller, longer, stronger.
Yep.
So.
Alrighty. Next point. This one's probably it's probably one that's summertime's coming around here.
Oh yeah.
You would think
you couldn't tell by today's weather. It's like
oh man, it was cold today.
High 60s today.
But yeah, you would think maybe a beard might get hot in the summertime because it's a lot of hair, and it might get really sweaty and hot. This is actually not true. It's actually going to make it more cooler. Why? Well, because now it's shading a part of your face. And what heats up the most? Right here. That's why during summertime you usually are going to wear a hat, because it shades your head. Because that's the very first thing that the sun is most likely touching, is your head. And that's one of the hottest parts of your bodies. So the beard is actually going to keep a lot of sunlight off. That's all of this whole area, the neck.
If you shaved a person's beard that has had a beard for a really long time, the tone difference between their face and like their chin is freaking hilarious. That's why you can't just shave a beard off.
No.
You have to like trim it way back, let the sun kind of get down in there, re-tan the skin.
Yeah.
All right. This is, I think, less common, but for some people who have different shaped beards, they feel that this is important. All parts of the beard should grow at the same rate. This is not true. A beard does not grow 1-for-1 100% of the face. The cheeks grow slower than the actual chin. So your chin will grow out before your cheeks do. So
I'm kind of living proof of this one. This is where, right here, my neck, that's where it grows the thickest, the fastest.
Yep.
When I was growing this out, I had to shave down here because this did not grow very fast. This took months and months to grow out. So, and this literally took maybe about a month to grow out.
Yeah.
So for me, if I didn't shave down here, I would basically be short hair, or short, hair, and it would just be really thick short hair about the same, all down there, and look really weird. So yeah, they don't grow at the same rate because different parts of your body just are different.
And it doesn't matter because you can shape your beard.
Mm-hmm.
You can trim it how you want it to be trimmed. And it takes a little bit of work, but it's not hard to trim a beard. Don't go to a barber. They're just going to take way too much off.
Well, and they're going to shape it the way they want it.
And it's not going to be what you want 99 times out of 100.
Yeah.
So, if you want to reshape your beard, do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to grow a little bit different. Either embrace it because it's unique, it's yours, that's what your beard is. Or trim it yourself.
Yep.
So.
Alrighty. Next bullet point. So this one's also, I think, this one's actually really common as well. Particularly, I think, more with older audience of beards. But you know what? Your hair is not all one color. And you are probably going to have one little gray hair, or, maybe some blonde hair. If you were to take a close look at my beard, I have, the majority of it is brown, really dark brown. But, right here, I've got, a lot of really light brown, almost blonde hairs. I've got some red. I actually think I found a few silver hairs. It's all that means is the follicle's dead.
He's getting old.
Lord. But it's it's not a big deal. If you have multicolored, that is your beard. Don't worry about, if you have, you've got all those random colors. That makes your beard. It becomes your thing now. Because every beard is going to be unique. So, yeah.
Like I said before, my mustache was really, really blonde. Really did not come in. And it's now yellow. but doesn't quite match all this because this is brown.
Well, I'm
A
looking
very
at it.
light brown.
I'm looking right now. Like you are super blonde, kind of darker blonde right there, and then you're really dark around the edges. So I mean, that's like.
But believe it or not, I have red growing in.
Yeah.
About right here, I have these red strands that come out of nowhere, and they are red. Like I have Irish blood, so that
Yeah, me too.
that makes sense. It's in there. But every time I find one, it's like, oh, my Irish is coming out. So, but like we said, that's only a few myths about beards. If you have any other questions about beards or you have any other myths that you'd like us to maybe answer, comment below or contact us through our webpage.
Yep.
The link is in the description below.
Go there.
Right there. All right, off to our next segment. If you guys watched the first podcast, we played a little game. I thought it was a fun game. I don't know what you guys think because you guys never comment. But I think it's fun because it's
Hint, start commenting and we'll actually do something you might want to see.
it's a fun game, I think, because it really makes you think. Puts you in some weird situations maybe. But we are going to play Would You Rather?
And Cody got the app this time.
I have the app this time, so I don't have to use Trevor's phone.
All right.
So, today we're going to play Would You Rather. All right, so I will go first. Trevor, I have a great question. I got to adjust. This is a doozy. Do you remember Rebecca Black? That's not the question. Do you remember Rebecca Black?
Rebecca Black.
Friday, gotta get
Oh.
down on Friday. Would you rather listen to Rebecca Black or listen to Justin Bieber? Oh, this is a great first question.
Oh, that is a doozy.
It's kind of a matter of endurance. Like, which one do you think you could actually sit and endure?
Did she just have the one song?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So basically it's...
I think she tried to parody and come out with like a Saturday,
Mhm.
but I don't think it worked.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm curious as to what other people said.
Personally, I've actually never seen the full video, but by choice. Because I've heard plenty of it. I'm like, nope, I don't need to see it. I've seen parts of it. But by golly, I hate both of them.
Well, you got to pick one.
I'm just going to go with Justin Bieber only because...
The Biebs.
Only because I like to make fun of his songs.
All right.
Well, my biggest thing with Justin Bieber is just the, Sorry song. And that one.
Oh, yeah.
That one cracks me up only because of when Steve Harvey screwed up on the what was it? The beauty pageant.
Yeah.
They made that into a meme where they put their heads on the dancers in the music video.
Too late now to say sorry? All right. 69% said Justin Bieber.
Well, that's not surprising.
That's not surprising. Everybody hated Rebecca Black.
But I'm shocked that 69% did.
I mean...
Because I hate Justin Bieber.
This is reaching down into the bottom of a barrel and reaching to the bottom of a barrel inside another bottom of a barrel. And then scraping whatever's left.
to say that taking what we think we thought and made us think we thought our thoughts we've been thinking we thought we think we thought? I think.
Yes, Patrick.
Alrighty.
All right.
Next question. Cody.
Look, I don't like when you start with a laugh.
This is a fun one. Would you rather take a cold shower every day or take only hot showers just once every 2 weeks?
I take a cold shower every day. Look, the line of work I'm in, if I don't shower every single day, that would be disgusting.
Well, you're one of 31% that would.
Woo! Way to go, 31%. Man, someone has hygiene.
Oh my gosh.
Man. Yeah, I get it. Like, hot showers would actually, like, cleanse your pores out and all that, but still not showering every day? Once every 2 weeks? We don't live in the Old West.
Well, you have fun with that.
Oh, man. What would you do?
I take a warm shower every day.
I thought it was a warm shower every 2 weeks.
I know.
Oh, you're
I
saying...
would rather.
Okay. All right.
I'd rather take option C.
Okay. Question number 3. Trevor. This is funny because... Alright, we're not going to get political, but... The greatest words ever spoken. Nobody likes Trump right now. He's got, like, Nixon level... Like, beyond Nixon level acceptance right now.
Mm.
And... Of whatever was polled, like, 40-something percent... It was like 48% of people... are on the side of impeaching Trump.
Not surprising.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just came out and said that for the 2020 presidential election, he's thinking about running. Oh my gosh. So, a poll was run. Would you choose Trump over The Rock? And The Rock won by a landslide. So maybe in 2020 we'll have The Rock as president. But this is relevant because would you rather fight Hulk Hogan? Do you know who Hulk Hogan is? Okay. Fight Hulk Hogan or fight Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Oh boy.
They're both steroid users. Allegedly.
Now, in their current state or in their prime?
Look, I wouldn't want to fight either of them at either time.
Well, I mean, Hulk Hogan's like a 70-year-old man now.
Yeah, and the dude is still ripped. He's still ripping shirts like he was when he was 20s.
Oh boy.
The Rock's actually way bigger than he used to be.
Rock is huge compared to what he used. He used to be fat.
Hey.
He used to be.
So, who are you going to fight?
Oh, gosh. Rock place? It's a hard place and a rock.
So, The Rock and the Hulk?
I'll take Hulk Hogan.
All right. So, guys, jump on Twitter right now. Go get Hulk Hogan and tell him that Trevor wants to fight him.
I'm dead.
Are you ready to fight the Hulk?
No.
All right. Not the Hulk, but Hulk Hogan. Okay. Hulk Hogan. 56% said that they'd fight Hulk Hogan over The Rock.
Have you seen The Rock lately? He's the freaking boulder.
He's huge.
He's huge.
But it's all not natural.
Still. So, he's got like 25-inch biceps.
It's called water weight. So. All right. Well, should we move on to our next segment?
Let's do it.
Moving on to our next segment in today's podcast, we are going to talk about
the harsh reality of living in California.
Oh boy. Yeah.
We're going to have fun with this one, I think.
We be them California boys, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Well, let's go.
All right, well, that was a fun podcast. No, but we want to talk about some of the harsh realities about living in California. A lot of people come here. They think it's a great place. It's not a bad place. It really isn't.
I don't know. A lot of people hate California now. So.
Well, a lot of people hate Californians. But not California itself.
Well, California itself is fine.
Well, that's like saying I hate the world. And the world's just floating around in space like, what did I do?
There are people like that.
So, we want to talk about the average cost of living. So, this is just kind of the day-to-day what it takes for... I think we should talk about like our generation, because that's kind of what we're going through right now.
Yeah.
We've been looking for places to live. We've been looking, trying to get out and be on our own. So the average cost of living just for an apartment in the Southern California area, rent runs at a minimum of about $1,500 a month.
It depends on where you go. But, because, you can find cheaper stuff.
You can.
However, here's the kicker. It's, the area that you are in, whether it be like Orange County versus Riverside County versus Los Angeles County versus San Bernardino County, they're all going to be different.
San Diego County?
Yeah. If you go up north, San Francisco, you can... San Francisco, let's...
Well, not even going that far. You could go up into the valleys, and it changes completely inside
drastic.
the valleys.
Yeah, a condo within San Francisco limits can be as low as $2 million.
Yeah.
Condo.
It's not cheap. Honestly, because so many people want to live in California, it is overpopulated. There's a lot of people. It makes everything really expensive because everything's in high demand.
Mm-hmm.
Jobs are in high demand. Housing, of course, because housing is important.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so a lot of things here are way more expensive than other states.
Yep. Yeah, because just us looking in our area is it's a doozy.
Pretty expensive.
And well, here's part of our problem too is, of course, we're trying to keep our jobs that we have currently, because we could find cheaper if we looked out farther. But our problem is it's not going to be very...
That would mean quitting, and that would mean relying solely on this to make us money.
Not necessarily. We could go a little bit north, and it'll just take us, longer. People commute to LA every day.
Well, yeah, but... Look, I sit on the road long enough as it is. After sitting on the road for 10 hours of work, the last thing I want to do is jump back in my car to drive for another hour and a half to go home.
Yeah.
Nor do I want to wake up at 2:30 in the morning to get to work by 5.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Which leads us to traffic.
Well... Sure, yeah, let's go with traffic.
We're on the subject.
Traffic. Have you ever heard of the 91?
Parking lot?
It's called the parking lot. It just was under construction. The budget was over $1 billion to fix this, because it is, at some points, 7 lanes across on one side. Let's just say the westbound side of the 91. 7 lanes, and now more because they've expanded it. But in the morning, it's still backed up, bumper to bumper, for miles.
Yep.
$1 billion went out to fix that, and it's still a problem.
Yeah. And that's probably one about... there's pretty much anything going to LA is going to be backed up. The 60, the 10, the 215. Anything going westbound is going to be really backed up.
Well, and there's kind of a problem with Southern California is that the Inland Empire sits inside a giant bowl. And outside of that bowl, you have, like San Diego, you've got Orange County... You've got like Dana Point, Oceanside, things like that. They're outside of that bowl. And there's only three ways to Orange County per se. You could either go through the 91, through Corona.
Mm-hmm.
You can go down to Lake Elsinore by the 15 and take Ortega Highway. But because we had so much rain a few months ago, the rain washed out Ortega Highway.
Yeah.
So now all the people that live in the Temecula, Murrieta, Elsinore area, they couldn't take Ortega Highway.
Go all the way around.
They now have two choices. You either go an hour north and take the 91, or you go an hour south and you take the 5. And the 5
Like
is
straight up to
is
it.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like it can be really bad. And you got to come up the 5 or come down from the 91. It's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same with LA. You've got 3 major highways that will get you to LA. You've got the 60, the 10, and the 210. And yeah, they're all bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
They all have their hours where it's just you can sit there and be parked. It's terrible.
I don't know how people do it.
I do it every single day.
But that's your living.
That's how I make a living, yes.
I mean, at least you're sitting there getting paid.
Yeah, I sit in a truck in traffic
'Cause
and get paid to do
Most
it.
of those people on that freeway are not getting paid to sit there. They're
Yeah.
getting paid when they get to the job site.
Yep. So, traffic is insane. There is no good time to be on the roads. There are hours that are very, very different than others, but
Yeah.
it's pretty bad.
Yeah. It's really bad.
Needs to be fixed. I think more people just need to move out,
Like us.
like us. I would like to move out of state. But back to the job thing. I don't have a job out there. I have a job here.
True that.
So,
So please buy our oils. And
but speaking of jobs, the average pay for... We're going to go through the average brackets in California.
This is scary.
This is a statistic based out of 2015. The average income of people in California from under 25 up to the retirement age. The retirement age in California is 65. Most people don't retire at 65.
It depends.
I'm thinking it depends on the job that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Government jobs, yeah, they'll usually retire before 65.
And before we go through this, I actually learned this number so that it gives you guys a reference. Because obviously, if you live somewhere in the South, these numbers are going to be like, what are you talking about? That's not a problem. Okay. Average, living, what you should be making to live in California minimum is like $35,000 a year. Just to be living. That's
like the bare minimum.
That's like the bare minimum amount. Okay, $35,000. I know it might sound a lot, but that's just the bare minimum. So now we can go with the numbers, and this will...
Well, and just kind of keeping with that, like we talked about with traffic and gas, you remember you're spending a lot on gas.
Yeah.
Insurance for cars is not as cheap. You're paying, a couple $100 for your phone. You start tacking on all these little bills, $1,500 a month for rent, whatever little things that come up, you gotta eat. And by that time you're like, where'd all my money go?
Yeah. Yeah, so the bare minimum, and below that point, you are considered in poverty.
Yeah,
so.
Actually, I think, there was a poll that actually just came out. I don't remember what the numbers are, so I'm not going to say it, because I'll butcher it. Cool story, bro. All right. The average pay per age bracket in the state of California as of 2015. Under the age of 25 years old, it was averaged out that they made $29,000 per year. That's tough.
That's us.
That's tough. and that, I definitely fit that bracket.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, 25 to 44 make about $65,000 per year. Now, 25 to 44, you're talking about
that's a
kids.
Huge age. Yeah, that's like
you're talking about
you're starting out a family and like they're growing up.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about having kids and supporting a family. And let's say you're a dad working and your wife stays home. $64,000. That's tough.
That is, I mean, going back to that number, 35,000 for the bare minimum. Now you're talking about a family.
That's a bare minimum for one person.
For one person. $64,000 for a family now. That's at least 2 to maybe, however many people you have in your family. 2 to 5 is probably about average.
Yeah. That's tough. So, 45 to 64 years old. We're not talking about much older. We're talking about another 20 years. Starting to get up to retirement. Up to retirement age. $74,000. That's still... You've doubled your income,
mm-hmm.
but you've doubled the bare minimum.
Yeah.
That's not much. All right, and 65 plus, retirement age, $45,000. So that I'm going to guess is that's Social Security right there. So that's the harsh reality of living in California.
Alrighty, well, that's about it for this podcast. Tune in next week. We'll have another edition. Follow us, subscribe.
Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned till next week. We'll have another episode of the podcast.
Beard on.